Have you ever been driving on the side of the road and seen homeless people and felt bad and wondered what they did to get to that point? Or have you ever went a step further and felt bad enough to try and help them or give them food or money or whatever you even have? Today I will be informing you how veterans are being neglected and left homeless. I'll be explaining why it's an important subject. Then I'll be discussing why it happens. There are too many veterans who often don't get the help they need, specifically with mental health. I feel like they need therapists because they have seen many things and probably lost many people that they love. They are being mistreated instead of being praised for their bravery and work. They risk their lives and then to end up being mistreated by the system, it sucks. It is so bad that in an article made by Leo Shane, he stated that California alone had nearly 11,400 veterans that were homeless, which accounted for 1/3 of the veteran population in the United States. He also stated that the highest numbers of homeless veterans were California, Florida, Washington, and Texas. The reason for this is because these states have the highest cost to live, and they don't get paid enough or have good enough benefits to support their lives. The number of homeless veterans in the United States has increased from 2010 to 2019 by 50%. According to an article, in 2020, there were about 37,250 veterans reported homeless. Veterans make up about 6% of the United States population and only 8% of the homeless population in the U.S. Articles have also stated that more than 90% of homeless veterans were male, and with 1/3 of them being black. Most of them don't have families, so they should have programs where they get free sheltering until they can help get back on their feet. Now that I have discussed how many veterans are being neglected, I will get into the highest numbers of people and the ways it can get lower, which help and support. They should be granted at least with shelter or guidance to help them get back on their feet since they risked their lives and so many traumatic events could have affected them. The problem first starts with the horrific experiences that they go through, which lead to mental illnesses and drug addictions. They also tend to struggle with post-traumatic stress disorders, and they also feel like they have no support, some of them have had marriages, having a fallout, and some of them have even lost their jobs. A solution that could help people who are currently in the Army to be put in classes and that teach you how to come over mental illnesses without the use of drugs. I also think that they should be helped with a program that can at least help them pay their rent for a little bit, or depending on the status they are and what they do. I think that more funding should go into there, and there should be more shelter programs for them. I think that the government has a part to do with this because they're not being paid enough after they come back from the military or wherever they come, and they have to adjust to their daily life. They should be also given good health care with obvious stipulations, like depending on the status and what you did there and how long you did it. And there will be a limit, of course. Programs are already in place like the SSVF that help them, but it clearly isn't enough since the numbers are still struggling. The reason I had chose this topic is because one day I was walking into a store and I seen some guy on the side, and he had a sign that said "Veteran in Need," and I felt bad. When I was in the store, I was just thinking like, damn, he was in the Army and all that, he was in the Army, and then how did he come from being so like doing something really good to end up being really bad? So I thought about it, and I ended up giving him some money when I walked out. But on a car ride home, I still stayed in my head thinking like, damn, how many other people are like this? So I then went home and I researched it and found it interesting how there's just so many of them. But yeah, in the last few minutes, I explained how veterans are just being neglected and left homeless. First, I told you the amount of people that are being neglected and left homeless. Then I told you solutions that can possibly help them. Always remember that everyone is human, and at the end of the day, if you see anybody in need, it doesn't even have to be on money or food, or it could just be by talking, because you never know what that could do to somebody and how it can change somebody.